it's likely if we live in a flat plane and the north is the center of all things, that's where New Jerusalem is. That's where Jesus currently is right now. He never left. His beloved city, his camp of saints, those who ruled and reigned with him for 1,000 years, though we can't see them, they're likely on Earth somewhere, and it's more likely in the center of the Earth. And all the older maps do show there's something right there, right in the middle. Think of the Northern Lights. Okay, so we're told that's energy coming from solar flares, sparking up the ions in the atmosphere to make this colorful display. Or is it the throne of God, who sits in the center of the earth, ruling, emanating his light out and his energy and his glory? Because the colors that are described in the Bible for the throne of God are identical to the colors that are described, that you see when you see the Northern Lights. Christ is ruling and reigning from the center of the earth, and always has been. And basically, the cameras just aren't pointed on him. The maps just don't show him today. The shipping routes just don't go past it. The planes don't fly over it, so no one knows it's there. Then, as long as no one knows Jesus is there, Satan can deceive the whole world. It says here he deceives all the nations. It's a place on earth somewhere physically. It's somewhere, and all I can deduce is it's in the north, and all the compasses point to Jesus. That's where it's pointing to, the true north. Perhaps the whole point of the millennial reign was so Christ could build up the earth and its infrastructure for 1,000 years into something impossible for Satan to destroy. Something so complex, so infrastructurally built out with canals and cathedrals, cities and waterworks and pipes and undergrounds, everything just built out to the max. So when the devil's released after his 1,000-year imprisonment, he is going to try his best to erase as much as he possibly can. But he just can't. It's impossible, because Christ built up too much in those 1,000 years with his saints. And he was basically laying out a world for us to come back into, to have that chance to know him. So it seems like there was a purpose there, And this is what people call Tartaria. Because Tartaria is complicated. It's not just one style of architecture. And we can get into the history leading up to all of this. But this is what the book of Revelation is explaining, where we are, where we could be. This is hard for people to get grips to, because we are living under a serious deception in this little season. So, for example, a good way to contextualize this, we all know we've been lied to about the shape of the earth. Okay, we all know the scientific institutions, the academic institutions have been lying to us about everything, right? They've got false science, false history, false everything. It's the exact same thing for the seminaries, the places people go to learn their theology, to become pastors, to become churches, church leaders, That's just as corrupt as any other educational institution, and they're teaching a specific doctrine, a false doctrine. Everything's still yet to come. We're waiting for Christ to return. But if you take Christ at his word, which is good enough for me, I'm not going to make him a liar. I believe him when he told those people in front of him he was coming back in their lifetime. I can only work backwards from there now. Tribulation did indeed happen. This earth has gone through a horrible cataclysm that fits and matches the description of tribulation perfectly. And yes, Christ did rule for 1,000 years with his saints. It's all there.